our Big 12, episode 12. How you guys feeling tonight?
Ooh.
Feeling great.
Isn't the 12 just so much better than a 10? Oh my gosh, it feels
It
so
truly
good.
is.
Two
Especially
better,
when
actually.
Especially when the 12 only has 10 teams. That's when it's the best, really. You know?
And the Big Ten has 14.
And
it
Joey's
all
gone.
makes sense. It all makes sense, guys.
Oh, shit. So, well, we appreciate everyone joining in and listening to us tonight. We are doing it a day early, so if you're joining us live, we apologize for throwing that hurdle at you. But had some scheduling conflicts, but hell, we'll make it work either way. But hi, Joey, what are you drinking tonight?
I appreciate everyone moving their schedule for me. I am traveling for work tomorrow, so thank you guys. It's been a minute since I've been on one of these, but I am good. Did you ask me what I'm drinking? I just went on a rant for some stupid reason. Water and a Diet Mountain Dew bottle because I'm cheap and just run it out of the sink.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with being cheap. I'm glad you explained it because I was like, what? Why the hell would you do that?
Well, I mean, technically work pays for my stuff. I just forgot to stop on my way back. So, yeah.
Hey, happens to the best of us, my friend.
That's what I'm drinking.
Trent, how about you?
Oh, I am drinking Ears Up again for my South Dakota State Jackrabbits. This is the national championship can, though.
Getting jacked up? Is that what you're doing?
Getting ears up from Ferguson Brewing, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Hell yeah, dude. Clark?
I've got a Cutwater Vodka Mule.
All right.
Hell yeah.
How are those?
One while I was griddling. It's a little harsh. It actually kind of gives me a little bit of a heartburn. So
I've never had one.
I imagine it's the closest thing I've ever felt to heartburn. Anyways, I'm not sure if it actually is. It's a little warm.
Yeah.
You'll know when you have heartburn, my friend. Trust me. You can barely breathe. So if you don't deal with that, you're lucky.
So I tried a new drink I've never had before tonight. So Katrina went to a bar a couple weeks ago and they had pear ciders.
Okay.
And she was like, you got to find these. They're excellent. So I stopped at Booze Boys on the way home. They did not have the brand that she was looking for, but it was like, I think this one's called like Ace's Pears Cider.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little skeptical when I bought them. They're really good.
I like pears, so I'm intrigued.
Oh, yeah.
Pears.
If you can find a pear cider, pick them up.
Hell yeah. Well, I would say
cool too.
The drink I got here kind of inspired me since I went to Cocaine Bear this weekend. I was walking around and I found this bear. Well, it's got a bear on it. It's not on cocaine, but it's dressed like a bumblebee. It's called Bumble Bear. It's a honey brown ale out of Lakefront Brewery in Wisconsin. Pretty damn good, actually.
Nice.
But not as good as cocaine, I would assume. I don't know. But I would say, well, we'll kind of just jump into it because we got a lot of basketball stuff to actually talk about. Some of it more sad than others for some of us here, but we won't jump into that first. We'll jump into some actual good news here. We got for our teams, at least in the rankings, the ones that we talk about, Kansas, they're still stuck at 3. They're stayed put right now in this last week. Kansas State is up 3. They're up to 11 right now. Iowa State dropped 8 spots. They're 31st with votes, so they're not ranked, but still getting votes. And when I was putting this together, this one shocked me. Iowa is still unranked and don't have any votes, which I think after this week will change. But that one's insane how they didn't get any votes last week.
And then
Eastern Illinois, man, that's killing them still.
And then they pounded Indiana last night.
Yeah, dude, that was a shit stomping. That was great.
What was the final spread on that game?
22 points, 90-68.
So is that like tied? I saw this
tied for third.
Tied for third. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
tied
is that on the? I didn't read.
Oh no! I just remember watching Sports Center and them telling you that's the third worst loss in Indiana Assembly Hall history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That shit was great. I watched it live. One of the few ones I have watched live this year.
Shit, real quick, I forgot to do the trivia question before we jumped into it here because I actually did a little research on it, so we got to get it out here. Damn it! Antone Davis for Detroit Mercy here. He is 26 points away from having the most points scored all time in college basketball, which has been held by Pistol Pete Maravich of LSU. So Ryan's going to be pissed off when this record gets broken. But how many points did Pete Maravich score in his college career?
I got a good stab at it if you guys want to go first, because I was just looking at Pete Maravich stuff on Wikipedia like a week ago.
I'll go 4,200.
Okay.
I'm going to say, what is it? Like 30 games. Let's say he scored 30 a game. That's 900 a season.
Fuck, I'm on.
4 years because they didn't have COVID years, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah. 900 times 4. 3,600 points.
Flat. Okay.
Clark, you're very, very close.
Yes.
Isn't it like 3,361? And he averaged 44.2 points a game?
Yeah, 36.67.
Yeah.
You were up by 67 points.
Yeah, and he averaged 44.2 points per game.
Mm-hmm. Now,
that is insane.
Every old head is going to be pissed off telling you about how they didn't have a 3-point line. I don't care that this kid played an extra year. I don't care that he's playing not in the SEC. That was one of those no one is ever going to touch that records we thought, and now we have a kid that's 26 points away. So good on him. He is going to have to get it in the his team's going to have to keep winning in his conference tournament, because they have a 14-18 record. So I mean, they're not dancing this year. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually gets it. That would be so heartbreaking if he gets 24 points and he's just 1 point shy of it.
Yeah. Pete Maravich didn't have a 3-point line, but they said if he did, he would have had way more, because he was shooting 3-point length shots when there wasn't even a 3-point line. Nobody did that.
So what you're telling me is he was cheating because no one played defense, because why would you play defense from 25 feet out when it means the same, right?
Right.
It's kind of like when you see Damian Lillard bring the ball down. It's I ain't going to pick him up till he's past half court, and he just pulls up from beyond and just drains it.
Oh, it's kind of like when Iowa State's playing and Taman Lipsey has the ball.
Yeah.
Just don't guard him. That's what teams are literally doing.
It works really good.
If he has the ball outside the 3-point line, they're stacking so much onto the centers. It's insane. Anyway.
Sadly, we'll get to that in a little bit here, because we got some gripes to go over. But like I said, let's go over some positives here. Iowa, they had that large win versus Indiana, the 22-point victory. They had probably the craziest ending. You would think a 22-point victory would be huge. The game versus Michigan State was bigger. I mean, that lead that they had, or the lead that Michigan State had with 90 seconds left, and Iowa just kept nailing threes, dude.
Yep, 13-point comeback, baby. 78-91.
How electric of a weekend was it for Iowa Hawkeye fans?
So electric, I didn't watch the game.
Well, there was that. And there was Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, no, I saw the highlights of all that. I did watch part of the Caitlin Clark ending. That was amazing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good weekend.
And the baseball team.
Yep. Beat number 1 LSU.
Yeah.
Lucas Van Ness is jumping up the boards. Iowa going to the conference tournament this weekend for wrestling. That's going to happen. So yeah, hell of a week, baby.
Hell of a week for Hawkeye fans. Well,
that's right.
Since you guys are getting a little too excited, I do have to bring you down just a peg, because I'm sad right now.
Why? Did you get stared down?
Staring contest.
I want to talk about that too, because I've heard different opinions on that. But Iowa scored 112 points in the Michigan State game. Which, first off, at that same time Iowa State played Oklahoma, and there's 110 total points scored. So we didn't know you could score that many points in a game. But with them scoring 112 points in that one game, can you tell me how many points the Iowa football offense scored this season?
Wasn't it 126 or something like that?
114.
Oh, Jesus.
And some would say that doesn't count, because that includes the Kentucky game where you got 1 touchdown. But, I'm going to say it counts. I said the full season. So
Yeah. I mean, it has to count. And that just shows you where the programs are, baby. Shows you where they're at.
it's funny because I always feel like a decade ago, every Iowa basketball fan was like, "How can you do this run and gun, all this scoring? This is stupid. We're going to play in the Big Ten where we're going to play defense just like our football." And they have just polar opposite, completely changed both schools.
It's funny that you brought that up because I was looking at Twitter yesterday and someone had brought up the stats and the records for all the other people that were like considered for the job when Fran got hired.
Yes.
And everyone has a losing record and they're out of basketball basically. Like some of them are like assistant coaches at like smaller schools like Chicago State and crap like that. It's crazy. I personally did not think Fran was going to work out. I thought his antics, which we'll get into in a little bit, were going to be too much for the program. And he's just very good at recruiting the underrated stars and getting, player of the year type players out of every single recruiting class. I mean, since he started back with Adam Woodbury. I mean, even though Woodbury didn't pan out, Fran doesn't do a very good job of making players better throughout their tenure there, but he is very good at getting them in and, starting well as freshmen.
Yeah. I'll be honest, man. You could have named any other player other than Adam Woodbury, and I think your point would have went down a lot better, Joey. Adam Woodbury.
That's the only one I could think of. Camp. I always forget the guy that was right before or Devin Marble. Man. Yeah, good names. It wasn't Paul Pierce.
But no, well, honestly, let's just jump into the antics there because that was one of the points I had. So I've talked with a few Iowa and Iowa State fans just at work on this one. But Fran having that stare down with that referee, I believe it was the Michigan State game, and basically neither of them standing down there. I mean, are you okay with it, Joey? Does it get a little childish just watching your coach kind of do that stuff? Or
900%. I don't like Bob Knight's antics. I don't like the antics by any football coaches on the sidelines. I think it's childish. Like, you're supposed to be the adult in this situation. Be the adult. And he just, when he gets all red in the face, starts yelling and then does shit like staring down the ref, like, your point's getting across. You don't have to do these dumb things. Like, just be a normal coach. You don't see Tom Izzo or Coach K doing that shit. Like, come on.
Bob Huggins, he's yelling in refs' ears. He's getting them to recognize what he's saying.
Yeah, and yelling is fine, and like having a good conversation with them. But he like gets out in the middle of the floor and like gets in their faces and stuff. Like he's gonna punk them out, and it's like, so you're just promoting bullying people now. So good for you. And go ahead.
I saw this clip and I couldn't help but laugh and think how pathetic he was whenever the official just stares back at him, takes 2 steps forward and keeps staring at him, and then Fran turns around and walks away.
Right.
Like, okay, here I am. Moves forward and he's just like, oh, okay.
That was probably his actual real brain coming in, like going like, okay, now I'm about to get in trouble. Let's just back out of it, But like you said, like the bullying getting in, and Joey, you said it perfectly. I agree. Like when you're yelling and you're trying to make a point, and what I wish TJ would do more is the yelling at an official and honestly kind of push your will against them a little bit. See if they can start calling some calls for your team. I'm all for yelling at the refs. Campbell has really started to lay into that a little bit more when calls aren't going his way. And as long as it's not excessive, I'm fine with it. Fran's passionate and he does it. But I did agree that the stare down was a bit excessive. That just like, I mean, that's literal intimidation, what you're trying to do at that point.
Yeah, man. I've grown up around wrestling community my whole entire life, and that's wrestling community antics bullshit, which I think is still stupid. But you don't need a football or a basketball coach doing that, and you definitely don't need any other a person that's, like I said, again, the adult in the situation. Why is he doing that shit?
So the first thing I saw with this was on Twitter, and it was just a picture of him, of Fran. It was at the ref's back. And I just thought, okay, this is a picture like just caught at the right moment when like Fran was like turning around. And then I saw the video. I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. And again, if they would have lost, it probably would have caught more attention. But again, like a lot of things, you win and all of a sudden people just completely forget about it, So, they'll move on. And honestly, they have been on a hell of a hot streak, dude. Talking about the actual basketball. Go ahead. Sorry.
I say, and you can even see like Tony Perkins and then an assistant coach, and he starts staring at him from the like free throw line. Like it's just childish and kind of pathetic.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, but the good thing is there's only a couple more games left, at least in the regular season. Then he can.
Mhm.
I don't know if he's going to cool down getting the postseason at all, but I mean, he's going to have to, I guess, in the postseason. He can't get kicked out in the rest of these games, So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but to your point too, they're on fire right now. They look really, really good. They're confirmed to be at least a 4 seed or above, so they'll get the double bye, which is awesome. The conference tournament. So
is it for sure the 4 seed? Do a couple seeds above them play and one has to lose?
Yeah, so since Ohio State beat Michigan State, they're confirmed at least a 4 seed. If they beat Nebraska, they have a chance to jump up to the 2 seed.
Oh shit! Okay,
Wow.
the last I saw was they're 5th in the conference, so I assumed they were going to be 5th or whatever.
So tonight, there was a Big Ten basketball game. There was a couple people that played. I thought it was Ohio State. Yeah, Ohio State beat Maryland. I'm sorry, it wasn't Michigan State, but Ohio State beat Maryland. So yeah, that gives them the 4 seed for sure.
Okay. Well then, damn, dude, that really helps you guys out. As much as you'd rather only have the 1 bye, let's be honest. Let's get the double bye. Let's put yourself already in the quarterfinals and let's get to work at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I said a couple weeks ago that I think that they should have to play the first game to get themselves going, but they look like they're going right now. So let's keep that momentum, I guess.
Yeah, they're already going. Let's rest up and make it only two games sorry, it'd be 3 games, but let's make it a little easier on your legs and be ready for the actual tournament. The tournament that matters, let's be frank,
Right.
So, but yeah, I would say, and then you say you only play Nebraska left at home, so you kind of got an easy stretch at this point.
I mean, it's a Hoiberg team. He's going to bring him in and try and beat us. So Nebraska's not bad this year.
Yeah.
Fred Hoiberg, being an Iowa State guy too, would probably love nothing more than to go beat Iowa and screw them in some kind of way.
Yeah.
What a douche.
To be honest, if you look at Nebraska's schedule, though, me and a buddy looked at the other day, like, yeah, they're close to 500, but 1, Nebraska's never been a basketball school. 2, I mean, their losses are the legit, like, I think they were 14-14 when I looked at them. 2 were to Purdue. A couple of them were like to Michigan State. I mean, they're losing to the top teams, and they're, they had a couple like unforgivable losses, but I mean, at that level, all of us had the Eastern Illinois, the who the Iowa State. I mean, honestly, us losing to Oklahoma twice, West Virginia twice. All of our teams have losses that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
So, but I would say honestly, as much as I was wanting to not talk about it, let's just get Iowa State's our sad sack of starting to be the end of the season out of the way here. Right now, I mean, we've had another two losses in a row this last weekend when me and Trent were talking like, oh yeah, they could be 2-1 going in the last 3 games, and I'd feel confident. 0-2. 0-2. The lost to Oklahoma 61-50. That one was kind of unforgivable. The West Virginia one, that was just a hard-fought game. I think West Virginia is starting to get hot right now, but we lost by 3 points to them, 72-69. And Trent, what's going on with the team here, man?
They can't get out of their own way, is what I would say. We've said it a couple times on here. If things don't go their way, they lose their mind. And the offense isn't clicking right now. They need transition points. They can't set up a half-court offense right now and expect to score off of that. It's just not working, especially when they have a game where I think, was it Saturday's game where they only were 31% from the floor or something like that?
Yeah, I believe so, because I was watching that one. I think we won the turnover battle, and how did we lose this one?
We did, yes. That was a game that Iowa State took 17 more shots than the other team and lost by 11. Figure that out. Crazy.
Shot 31% with 17 more shots. We shot only 26% from 3. Trent, you're going to be shocked. We didn't do good from the free throw line either. We went 10 for 17, shooting 58%, while Oklahoma went 13 for 14, shooting 93%.
There's a difference right there.
Insane. And the other thing is we only had 5 turnovers. Oklahoma had 16. They had 11 more turnovers, and we lost by 11 points.
Wow.
Yeah, the offense just gets if they can't score in transition, the offense gets very stagnant.
It
Man,
is
you
looked
guys
this
sound like
last.
how I play 2K.
I mean, it looks like like the first half of the season. It looks like it didn't. This is what we would expect the end of the year or the beginning of the year to look like. Team that let's get used to who we have around us and get our bearings underneath us. And for the magical first half of the season we have just absolutely been. I mean, there's no better way to say we're shitting the bed right now.
Yeah, it's bad.
So I mean, it's bad enough. We were on Joe Lenardi's like we're going to be a 3 seed like 2-3 weeks ago. We were even a 4 seed I think last week still because it's like whatever a couple losses in the Big 12 now we're dropped down like there's a couple of them that are a little kind of I would say anti Iowa State biases. But logically, they're an 8 seed right now, and we could probably even drop lower than that on one of the lower ranked Power 5 teams, like a 10, 12, 11, 12 seed,
Yeah, and I could see that happening.
So,
especially if we're not going to beat Baylor on Saturday. Let's be real. I mean, I'm going to say we're going to lose. Nothing has showed me that we're going to win in the last month. And then we get to the Big 12 tournament. They could end the season on like a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Sorry, I was looking at the West Virginia game to see if there's any indication as well. But yeah, we're on 4, lost 6 of 7. 6 of 8. Yeah, we've lost 8 of 10, and 10 of 13. I mean that terrible trend, dude. So.
Yeah.
And to be honest, this would usually be this part of the season when we're losing like this on the streak. This would be when we would pull a rabbit out of our ass and win at Baylor for some reason on any normal weekend. But then
I would say and then go win the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Like we get our heads out and we're ready to go. Except Iowa State dismissed Caleb Grill from the team, averaged 9.5 points a game. Senior, I mean he was a couple games away from finishing his career the right way. And from what he said in his statement, he had said things to the team and to TJ that he wished he could take back. And, I have the quote on the screen here. We hold our players to high standards, and there are expectations that our student athletes are held accountable for. That's directly from TJ. And he was dismissed a week before the end of the regular season and going into tournament play when we're already, having such a terrible streak going on here. So
yeah,
I was trying to be optimistic earlier, Trent. The one thing I said was we have 2 games before the NCAA tournament to potentially get this lineup right or get our rotations correct.
Yeah. I don't know. That hurts, dude. Caleb, he averaged 9.5 points a game. When he has the ball, you have to respect him. Like you have to guard him way out there because he's a 3-point shooter.
Yep.
So that spreads the floor. Losing him is huge. It's huge.
He was one of our better perimeter defenders as well. Now, this last stretch of the week, I mean, you can go back to Amateur Hour a couple weeks ago. I was talking about, something has not been right with him for a while. First off, he's had a back injury, I think, for quite a while, and it just never had a chance to fully heal. The other thing that I noticed, because I had such great seats and I was actually close up and saw TJ, there's a couple times where TJ took him out of the game, and he's trying to hold his arm to like young man talking whatever he's saying, and he's trying to throw his arm off him, and he's walking away talking, and the players saw it on the other team, and they just started talking shit to him, and that's where we got we're getting a lot of these double texts, so I don't know.
He had one Monday.
Yep. I mean, so that's at least 2 in the last 4 games, and probably more that I'm not even thinking of, because to be honest, I can barely watch our games with how we're playing, man. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of sad, especially for a senior, a guy that had been such a big critical part of this team. Excuse me. But I mean, with this, man, with the streak we're having, it makes it a little bit easier. But even if we were in Kansas' position, 25-5, and our coach says we're kicking a player off the team because he's having, discipline issues, and we hold ourselves to a higher standard, you might be a little more pissed. But either way, I'm glad TJ is doing this, man. I mean, they got rid of Xavier Foster last year when, unfortunately, I can't remember all the allegations for the sexual assault that was going on, but he goes, we can't have these distractions on the team.
Mhm.
Now, like I said, he mentioned that it was something that he said. I can't imagine what terrible thing he could have said, either in the locker room, practice, private office hours, whatever it was, that could have gotten you kicked off of a team. But that's got to be pretty terrible.
Yeah,
It has to be a threat, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I hope he just. I don't know. I hope he gets himself right. I mean, he did mention in his. I read the whole thing on Twitter that he put out, and he did mention mental illness and kind of hinted at suicide. That's serious. I hope he gets himself right. I mean,
right.
He's a person. He's a human first.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, and that's me being chronically online as well. They're talking about the mental illness portion of it, and I just see all these Texas and the shitty Wildcat and Hawkeye fans that are going, "Oh, we beat his ass so bad that he had to quit." It's like, I remember a month ago or 2 months ago when Patrick McCaffrey was out for weeks.
The same reason.
For the same reason, we go, "Hey, get healthy, man. You're the coach's son." I guess, again, I guarantee there are shitty Cyclone fans that were saying something, daddy's boy or whatever. But, just like, dude, when you bring mental health into it, just shut the fuck up, man. I mean, it is not that difficult to not tweet about a player because your favorite basketball team lost a player. Oh, just get over it, dude.
Yeah,
right.
I hope he gets himself right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's dismissed from the team, and I believe he had a year of eligibility left with COVID years and all that stuff. He could have came back to Iowa State next year.
It'll be interesting and again, I believe there's a player for the Bengals. He was like a 7th rounder. He retired because he was he had been injured so much in training camp and in practices. Took a year off, retired, and goes, man, actually, now that my physical body's feeling better, I am ready to, take on all these, the mental challenges that come with playing football at this professional level. I hope Caleb can find a way to, make a home somewhere else, or, at worst, just get himself right. Like you said, human first, and we need to.
Yeah.
He just needs to get himself right. It's just very shitty timing for him to not finish his career the way he wanted, and if you do have to think about it in the Iowa State, way, I mean, we're down one player, and we have minimal time to prepare for the Big 12 tournament and the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe, players can rally around him and, play for him and play good ball.
Yeah. Hopefully it's just not a cold shoulder thing. But again, I'm sure there will be more details come out on this in the next few days, and we'll go from there. But if anything, like I mentioned, best of luck to Caleb. I'm glad our university holds our players to high standards and don't let accessories to murder play basketball for us. We have some standards at this university. So I don't know. Another dig at Bama. Fuck them for. By the way, Nate Oates, he has got to be the most oblivious dipshit that I've ever seen coach a basketball team. It was like Saturday. This is way old news, but they're talking about how they did the pat down. And first off, it took them 4 days to come up with a lazy excuse. Oh, that was a TSA pat down.
TSA, yeah.
Yeah.
He was getting on an airplane.
When I think pat downs, I don't think police, when he was an accessory to murder. I think TSA for sure. That's the first thought in my brain. So
maybe he's planning on going on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting ready for when they pat down the back of the hands and stuff, right? But,
I don't know. I've never been patted down getting on an airplane, though. Just saying.
Nope. I've got 28 flights under my belt in the last quarter, and I haven't been patted down. So
I was gonna say you fly multiple times a week, Joey.
Yeah, never been patted down.
I've done I think I had It wasn't my keys. I can't remember where it was. I was wearing like a bulky sweatshirt, so they couldn't see. It was like underneath my arm or something. So like, we need to pat you down, and they patted me down with like the back of their hands, which was really. It's like, dude, just cut me up, man. I don't care, you know. But
Cut me up.
but you know, they could have really gotten in there. But you know, yeah, they just did the backhand pat down. They said you're good to go. So I have, but that ain't a TSA pat down.
Brian's like, get up there, tickle me, baby.
Oh yeah, come on, get up in there. What are you going to be gentle to the terrorists too? You better.
If you're gonna do it right, baby.
Rub those nipples. Yes.
Get your fingies right up in there. Oh Jesus. But yeah,
You're patting yourself down. We don't need to hear about this.
oh yeah. Oh jeez, let's move on. Kansas, fuck you. You're being really good right now, just like we all fucking predicted. Jesus, win another 2 huge games here. They beat West Virginia, but they have been close lately. Beat West Virginia 76-74. Beat Texas Tech at home 67-63. Tech is going to be scary if they get into the tournament, dude, and I think they will.
Yeah, I think they're going to. Are they on the bubble? I don't know where their situation is. I feel like they're kind of in the bottom 4 teams there of the Big 12, but every team in the Big 12 deserves to be in because they're all that good. That game against Tech, watching it, dude, if Tech shoots any better than they did, they're gonna win because KU was shooting terrible. Grady Dick's only 4 points came from the free throw line. I think they were like 2 for 15 from deep at one point. It was terrible. Horrible shooting. Could not score to save their life. But, you know, they just keep moving along, just keep putting it up, keep driving the hole. Just you got to keep going. And they got it done. Made some big plays.
By the way, Trent, Kansas's very terrible day of shooting. They shot 40%. They shot 10% better than Iowa State on Saturday.
Hey! Stop. We're not counting Jalen Wilson because he had a great night. He scored 21, but anybody else on the floor could not put it in the hole.
You're saying Dick couldn't get it in the hole, huh?
Correct.
Grade
Dick could not find the hole.
Dick
couldn't penetrate. Couldn't finish.
Actually, you know what? The first 4 possessions of the game, he had 2 blocks. Dude was playing some great defense. He had like a poke to knock a ball loose, which ended in a Harris nice easy layup. So yeah, he was playing some really good defense.
Yeah,
So.
that spermicide wiped all over himself.
Yeah,
kind of wanted
from the Dick. Yeah,
kind of wanted to make a cock block joke there, but I got nothing.
Yeah,
it's good enough.
you just gotta throw them out there, man. See what sticks.
Yeah,
that's all we're doing.
That's all grade A Dick does.
Now I would say, well, and Kansas won the Big 12. They only have to play one more game even though it's at Texas, they're a game and a half up from.
Well, Texas is playing right now. If they win and then they beat KU, then it's a share of the Big 12 regular season championship.
But KU logic, shared championships don't count for the other team. They only count for KU.
That is correct. Yeah,
that's how it was when the streak was going on. Anyway, I don't know if that's changed.
They're still number 1, whether it's 1A or 1B. Trent, nobody cares. 1A.
That's just a jealous Iowa State fan talking. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm not bashing you. That's more of a compliment.
Remember when you only won 20 on your own champions and you had to share a couple? Idiot. Yeah.
Oh,
oh Jesus.
Yeah. Other was it Kansas Diet Kansas? They're doing well right now. They're up. I think their game actually probably just finished. They were up by at least 15 last I saw. So
who'd they play?
I'm on
Damn it, Trent. Quit asking questions.
Yeah, Trent.
Keep going, Clark. I'm on it.
They just beat no, they're playing Oklahoma tomorrow. They beat Oklahoma State on the road on Saturday. And they beat Baylor at home.
They just beat Oklahoma tonight, 85-69.
There you go.
Oh, my CBS Sports app didn't update. I apologize.
Boo! Get your facts straight, Bryant.
Oh, spreading all this fake news over here. But, well, sorry. I don't like to celebrate when other teams that aren't mine are winning, especially the
Oh, we
mild.
know. We know.
Trust me.
So, what are we looking at? This Saturday is the end of the season for all the college basketball, and we go into tournament play next week.
Yes, we've had a couple tournaments. The smaller ones like Colonial and stuff have started their tournaments, but yeah, for the most part, all the conference tourneys are going to start next week.
So the Summit League tournament starts this weekend in Sioux Falls at the Denny Sanford Center. I've heard that it is an awesome time. I would love to go because, you have two schools from the state, so South Dakota State and USD, and, North Dakota State's close. North Dakota's close. They say it's a really good time, and it sells out like 10,000 people at the Summit League tournament.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go this weekend, but maybe one of these years I'll go.
Damn it, Trent! You're on a sports podcast talking about amateur sports, and you're not going to go to the closest damn tournament.
Jackrabbit's probably going to win it anyway. No, I got tickets to go to the snowmobile races this weekend here in Brandon. It's going to be awesome.
Alrighty.
And we got a suite.
Well, I would say, you got a suite?
Yeah. I ain't going to be out in the cold.
Well, damn, son. Well, let us know how that is. But we'll have to, I would say maybe we'll cover it on the Funcast or something. Let us know how. Well, fuck yeah. Well, I would say right now, I would say with the Big 12, it looks like Kansas most likely won, Iowa State 6. Iowa, like you said, is going to be somewhere between the 2 and 5th seed, or is it for sure you're going to be at least 4th seed?
For sure, at least 4.
For sure, at least 4th seed. How you got? I know
confirmed by fans on Twitter.
Are you feeling confident you're going to win the Big Ten, or do you think it's Purdue's the lose, or like no way anyone but Purdue wins?
So I was going to kind of bring this up later to see who they think the best team in the nation is right now. And I still think Purdue is, even though they've kind of fallen off a little bit lately. So I think it's Purdue's to lose. I think Iowa could be give them a good run for 2. But yeah, I don't see them beating Purdue.
That ED dude, when you got a guy that's 6'4", doesn't foul, averages more blocks than fouls. I mean, how the fuck do you beat that, man?
Right.
You got to be shooting lights out.
Which Iowa has been doing with Chris Murray. So
and Sanford,
they might have the matchup to beat Purdue.
We forgot to mention it. Who's the white guy that came off the bench that blew the kiss to Assembly Hall?
Oh,
Sanford,
yes.
That is Sanford.
Yep. Dude, he's the one that hit the go-ahead or the tying shot against Michigan State, too. That dude's clutch. He's made some
I'm
clutch
him,
shots.
And I'm up by 25 in the final minutes on the road, and I get a technical for something as weak as that. I'm trying to get a second one. I'm doing it over and over until they tee me up again.
Did you see what he did right before that?
No.
The first down marker.
The Cupid arrow. Like
George Niang did to Iowa.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Trent's probably standing on the bench mooning the entire crowd.
I'm getting that second. Yeah, if you're going to tee me up for something that weak, come on. Because how many times a game does that, they're all going like this to the crowd, all blowing kisses to the crowd, and then you throw up a tee in that situation? Come on.
Yep.
It got momentum going their way. Purdue after that was only down 23 at that point,
You can't have
the momentum shifting.
You can't have fun.
Yeah. See, and I'm okay with those antics because it's the players. They're college kids.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't get upset when people storm the court. They're in college. That's
you can't. I mean, I think they're like I'm okay with court storming in the appropriate situations, like a huge game. Yeah, but like if you're the favorite, going into it, you can't storm the court. Even if it's your rival, dude. It's like if you're the favorite, expected to win, and you do it. I don't know. It's kind of it's one of those. It's a case by case thing because you can't just say all under these certain rules that one random white guy has, But
see,
if your team wins a great game, if it's super close and it's a great game, I don't care if you're the favorite or not. Just do what you want.
See, I like it, on Twitter after these games. Like, say it's football and you're storming the field, and there's always your rivals fan base. These losers storming the field, expect to win. And then it's like, I better not see you storming the field the next time you win. I better not see it.
Damn right.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got to realize you know that everyone has access to computers in their hand where they can disprove everything immediately. We would never do. Remember last year when you stormed? You know, it's like within seconds. You know? like I remember Iowa State was giving grief to Kansas. It's like, oh, cool, you beat one of our worst teams in years, and you storm the field. It's like, yeah, because one, we've been terrible, and also you stormed the field last year, so shut the fuck up. You know, it just.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think the one qualifier I'm going to say is you can't be a blue blood in the sport, or you get your blue blood revoked. Alabama, I don't care, as long as in our lifetimes you can't storm the field. I don't care if you went 0-12 for a decade straight. You have 7 national championships in our lifetime. You don't get to storm the field ever. KU basketball doesn't get to. You have multiple national championships. You've won 4 straight regular season. Something crazy like that, you know. I mean, if you're blue blood, you can't ever.
When KU did it in football against Iowa State a few years ago, they that was like after they'd lost like 60 straight Big 12 games or something like that. They deserve it. All 17 students at the game that day were on the field. They deserve it.
They had to put their, chemistry homework away real quick, put it in their folder, put it neatly on their seat. No one's going to steal it because no one else is there. Then they storm the field.
Yep.
So, but I don't know. We'll have. I think that'll be a fun debate. In a court storming, what are the rules? We'll just make them up and we'll post them on Twitter.
Make up rules.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good one.
I'm in.
You're in.
Are there different rules for storming the court and storming the field, or are we going to debate that?
We get to decide that. Nice. What about storming the mat, Joey?
No, stay off the damn wrestling mat. You'll ruin it.
You'll ruin it all. Well, let's jump into
a sacred circle.
It's a sacred circle.
Yep.
If you storm the mat in wrestling, the wrestlers get to come out and take anybody down they want.
Yes,
exactly.
They get to police it.
Except Kyvan Gadsden. Fuck that guy.
Still on that one. Well, Joey, I would say you have a couple notes in here on college wrestling. Have at it.
Yeah, I don't got much other than the conference tournaments start this week. Pre-seeds they're out. The allocations are out per conference. If you don't know what that means, each conference gets allocated a certain amount at each weight class based on the rankings and how they've done against each other. So it's a way to like kind of even out so the Big 10 and Big 12 don't run the NCAA tournament type of thing. Yeah, pre-seeds are out. By the time this podcast comes out, the normal seeds should be out Friday morning, and then most of the conference tournaments start Friday and run into Saturday. I know the smaller ones like the Pac-12 and the ACC are all Saturday, and then the even smaller colleges after that are going to be just Saturday as well. But yeah, the Big 10 and Big 12 will be Friday and Saturday. So looking forward to that. I think the Big 10 is going to be kind of chalk. Penn State's pretty damn good, and I think they're going to run most of the weight classes. There's always an upset or two. People try to do stuff to get a higher seed at the NCAA tournament, so they'll like pull out some funky moves and shit. So that'll be fun. The Big 12 is where it's going to be at for excitement this year. Between Iowa State, Missouri, Oklahoma State, they're all right there, and they look damn good. So yeah, I'm going to be probably tuning in a lot to the Big 12. Of course, I'll be watching Iowa. So
Where's the Big 10 take place at?
This year it is in Ann Arbor.
The Big 12 is in Tulsa.
Yep.
And I can already tell you what's going to happen in the heavyweight class there.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Wyatt Hendrickson's going to pin everybody at one time.
I hope so.
Clark
looks good.
Clark knows one college wrestler, and he just
dude's a freaking beast. He's a beast, man.
Oh, I love it.
Yep. Hendrickson will win the Big 12. That D-bag at Arizona State is going to win his Pac-12. And then there's a guy from NC State that'll probably win the ACC. But the top 3 seeds for the heavyweight for the NCAA tournament will probably come out of the Big 10 still. Paris, Kirkfleet, and Tony Cassiope.
The one that I'm going to pay attention to, because I'll be real honest, I'm just like Clark. I only know the one wrestler for Iowa State, but I'm looking forward to. It sounded like the David Carr O'Toole matchup from the Missouri meet was really good. I hope they meet in the finals again in this in the Big 12 tournament.
I do too, and I want Carr to beat O'Toole both times, but I think it'd be really freaking cool if O'Toole upset him at the Big 12s, and then that'd be a clash at the NCAA.
In the nationals?
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then you got the kid from Stanford also that's up there as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, college wrestling time. That's that time of year, baby, for both basketball and wrestling. So yeah, I'm pumped for both of them.
Now,
so Joe, you'll enjoy this, but the town I live in, Brandon, is like a breeding grounds for wrestling, and they're always really good at wrestling. This past weekend was the South Dakota State Championships. They had 6 in the finals, 6
nice.
in their class, and 5 of them won. They had 5 state champs.
Hell yeah,
shit.
Insane. Yeah,
good for them.
Is
Bring them into Iowa. I bet they got one.
Is Brandon?
They would win every weight class.
Compare Brandon, South Dakota, to a city size in Iowa, so I can comprehend it. Jefferson.
I don't know what. We're 11,000 people.
Okay, so yeah, Jefferson.
Yeah,
Is
Jefferson.
that how big Jefferson is?
Yeah, about.
They got a movie theater. That's got to be worth something. They got a
We
movie
don't.
theater. They got a pizza ranch that burnt down. They got an A&W. I mean, they got a lot in that city. They got lumberyard.
We got a PR.
Not the lumberyard. A lumberyard.
Oh no, Jefferson's only 4,000.
No fucking way, man. They got a casino in town.
That's
So does Larchwood. How many people live in Larchwood, Iowa?
A legit casino, like a large. I don't know. I would say the Wild Rose is a big enough spectacle that I would expect more than 4,000 people to be in Jefferson, Iowa.
I think the Larchwood Casino is bigger than the Wild Rose.
I have no frame of reference, so I'm going to have
to. And Larchwood is maybe 600 people.
Well, they're a bunch of fucking degenerates then. How about that?
Well, all the Sioux Falls people drive over there and keep it afloat, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Joey, if people wanted to watch wrestling this weekend, where would they watch it? Because mostly I don't want to do the research myself.
Big Ten Network for the Big Ten tournament. The Big 12 has their own network, right?
Yeah, isn't it just it's on ESPN Plus and stuff?
Yeah, probably. It's probably you have to find it on Longhorn Network somewhere, so no one in Iowa can watch it.
One more year, dude. I've seen so many Longhorns on Twitter just talking shit. It's like I cannot wait for you to leave and just be the bottom feeder of the SEC. And like as much as everyone's like, no, they got the funding. You know who we said that about? We said that about. We didn't say that about Missouri, but Missouri hasn't won shit. Texas A&M has Texas money. Thought they were going to. Haven't technically won shit. Nebraska's made to a couple Big Ten championships. Haven't won shit. All these places that have left haven't done it. Miami hasn't won the ACC, man. I mean,
right.
So good luck, OU, Texas. Actually, of all schools that have, I just popped in my head. Of all schools that have left a Power 5, you can include Texas A&M, Nebraska, I don't care, and Texas, Oklahoma going to the SEC. Which one is going to be the first one that actually wins a conference championship?
Oof. I would say A&M's probably going to be closest because of their recruiting classes, but the SEC is super fucking hard. They
A&M's
should be the first.
Class was the number 1 this year, and you saw how that turned out.
That's true.
I think they
my
lost
pick to make it to the playoff.
I think they lost a few, but they're like the money hungry guys. So, but
wait. Missouri won. Oh, they won the East. They didn't win the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, the whole conference thing, not
right.
Coastal or whatever.
Right.
And I'm just talking football. I mean, fuck, I don't know. You can talk about basketball. I don't care. I don't think any of them have won. Maybe Miami has won the ACC last year. No, it would have been Duke or North Carolina.
Right.
I mean, I'm legit trying to think of any school that's left and done better and won a conference championship.
I think Rutgers won the football championship one year, maybe.
In the Big Ten?
It was a joke. Come on.
Oh, I was just like, jeez.
The Ray Rice years? I don't know.
I have the information for you for the Big 12 television schedule. They are actually wrestling Saturday and Sunday.
Oh shit!
Sessions 1 and 2 are on Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. Central. Those will be on ESPN Plus. Well, Session 3 is on Sunday on ESPN Plus at noon, and then the finals, Session 4, starts at 8 p.m. and it's going to be on ESPNU.
Oh, I almost threw up the 2. They ain't doing that on ESPN. They would rather show spring practice for baseball than they would college top tier wrestling.
Jesus, your resident wrestling expert is a fucking moron. All of the major tournaments are Saturday and Sunday. None of them are on Friday. What a moron.
Oh man. Well, discredit him, take his credentials. See you later.
Man, my whole week's messed up. I've been sick. I'm flying home on a Thursday and not a Friday. I don't even know what day it is. It's Tuesday, right?
Well,
Come on. They don't even usually televise wrestling. Give them a break.
I know.
Joe, you're sounding like Nate Oates not wanting to take responsibility there.
It was TSA's fault, baby. TSA's fault.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. Round. Just remember, it's always not your fault, and you just didn't know. That's just how it works out.
That's
Here.
right.
And I do have an answer for you. Brandon is about the same size as like Carroll or Storm Lake.
Yep.
Okay.
Or Spencer. One of those towns.
Well, there
Hey,
we
Joey.
go.
Do you know where the NCAA wrestling championships are at this year?
Yeah, they're in Tulsa.
Tulsa, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
You threw me off for a second. I was like, wait, is it in Stillwater because the Big 12s are in Tulsa? But yeah, you're right.
BOK Center.
So Big 12 and NCAAs are both in Tulsa.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you threw me off there. So, well, I would say honestly, we're losing a little steam, and I really don't have anything else this week to talk about. One thing I do to mentally prep you guys is I found out for the Big 12 tournament that they're going to have 10 specialty dishes made for each school. Like I think it's like Kansas Jayhawks is like a mac and cheese with a Jayhawk fillet in there or something. I think Iowa State's 10. I'm going to make a bracket and we're going to debate on which food is going to be the best Big 12 food, because that might be one thing that Iowa State will win in the Big 12 tournament here.
Iowa State's is going to be a tenderloin, a Busch Light, and a Scotcheroo.
Oh,
Ooh.
fuck, yeah.
With a side of chili with a cinnamon roll.
Oh,
There we go. So that'll be one thing we'll have, and obviously we'll have a shit ton of basketball and wrestling to catch up on. But
Yep.
I would say we'll try and do. I've been kind of enjoying having these lists on the Funcast, so I'm trying to come up with more stuff for amateur hour here. But
Hell yeah.
we'll go ahead and cut it here so we can keep it under an hour, keep it nice and tight here. Joey, you want him with the socials?
Yep. At Heartland Pulse for Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. Search us on Facebook, Pulse of the Heartland. Same with YouTube, and we're live Mondays, Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays, all depends. And then, yeah, all of our blogs and stuff are on inthezone.studio.
Oh, yeah, well, we appreciate everyone joining. We'll catch you next week.
see you Monday.